RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.
We are live at Public School Stadium in Alton for tonight's South Central Conference game between the Marquette Explorers and the Southwestern Piasaw Birds. Hi again, everybody. My name is Sam Stem, alongside the Hall of Famer John Rogers. And for the 26th time, the Explorers and Piasaw Birds renew their football rivalry, and few have had more significance than this one here tonight, because both teams come in at 4-4 on the season, and what that means is that the winner will get an IHSA playoff bid tomorrow night, and the loser will call it a season. And John Rogers, I suspect both teams are ready for this one tonight.
I would imagine. If they're not, the coach ought to be fired.
The Explorers got off to a 1-4 start. Since then, they have won 3 in a row. After starting 1-4, they knew that they had to win their last 4 games in order to make the playoffs. Well, they've completed 75% of that task. The Piasaw Birds, on the other hand, got off to a 3-1 start. Since then, they've lost 3 of the last 4, but none of that really matters, because these two teams will go at it here tonight, as I said, with the winner moving on and the loser calling it a season. Both teams have beat Hillsboro, Litchfield, and East Alton Wood River. Marquette beat Roxana. Roxana beat Southwestern. Southwestern beat Vandalia. Vandalia beat Marquette. So with those exceptions, they've had similar seasons, and it all comes down to this one tonight. Last year in Week 9, Marquette made the trip up to Southwestern, and the Piasaw Birds beat the Explorers 28-7 to go 5-4 and make the playoffs. The Explorers did not need a win in that one last year to make the playoffs, but the Piasaw Birds did, and they won it. So these two teams meeting again here tonight, and it's been a storied rivalry, a big rivalry at times. Marquette won the first 11 meetings between these two teams. Since then, Southwestern has won 11 of the last 14. But again, as we said, you can pretty much throw all of that out the window, because here tonight, it is in essence a playoff game. It has the same significance as a playoff game, because win and you move on, lose and you're done. The Explorers won the opening toss of the coin, and they have deferred their choice until the start of the second half, so the Piasaw Birds will have the first possession. When we return, the opening kickoff, the Explorers and the Piasaw Birds. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
To a military family, a phone call home is priceless, but these phone calls are expensive. By donating a used cell phone through Cell Phones for Soldiers, Weber Granite City Chevrolet is helping U.S. service members get a free 60-minute calling card. Cell Phones for Soldiers addresses an everyday emotional need that everyone has experienced, the need to call home, to hear a familiar voice while far away. If you have a cell phone you're not using, please donate it to us at Weber Granite City Chevrolet for the Cell Phones for Soldiers program.
Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got top, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from...
Yeah! Woo!
With John Rogers, Sam Stem back at Public School Stadium in Alton, all set for the opening kickoff. Last Saturday night, Marquette played its best game of the season, in my estimation, in defeating the Roxana Shells and knocked the Shells out of playoff contention. The Piasaw Birds, on the other hand, were losers against Carlinville, and the Explorers a squib kick, touched by one of the upmen of the Piasaw Birds, and finally covered for Southwestern by Stephen Jones back at his own 32-yard line, and Southwestern will start 1st and 10 right there. Nick Shearseth is the quarterback, and we expect the Piasaw Birds to come out throwing the football tonight. Shearseth has completed 55% of his pass attempts on the season, good for 13 touchdowns, but he's thrown 10 interceptions, and Southwestern will likely put it up. They start with a spread set, 2 receivers to each side of the field, and Shearseth in the shotgun. He turns and hands it to his fullback, and right up the middle goes Stephen Jones for good yardage out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. A gain of 5 on that carry for Jones. 2nd and 5, Piasaw Birds.
Southwestern came out and spread it all over the field, a slot to their left and a split end to their right.
Same set here, a pair of receivers to each side of the field. Shearseth drops to throw. Pump fakes. Now he lets it go. Now he's going to take off and run with it. He gets to the 40, breaks a tackle to the 45, and dives out to midfield. And a gain of 13 on that scramble by Nick Shearseth, and a first down for the Piasaw Birds.
The Explorers had good coverage.
Shearseth pump faked once and then reloaded, looked like he was going to throw it, and at the last minute decided to take off and run with it. He broke a tackle at the 40 and then went 10 yards further. 1st and 10 Southwestern at midfield. And here's the handoff to the lone setback, and that play goes nowhere. It was Tyler Dunham on the carry, and he loses a yard back to the 49. 2nd down and 11, Piasaw Birds, just underway here on WBGZ Alton, about 3 minutes after 7 o'clock. Game 2 of our broadcast doubleheader tonight. More South Central Conference action as the Roxana Shells and East Alton Wood River Oilers meet in their storied rivalry. 2nd and 11, Piasaw Birds. Shearseth with a lone setback, trips to the right side, and Shearseth drops to throw. He's got all kinds of time. Lets it go out to the right sideline, and that is broken up and nearly intercepted. Maybe should have been intercepted by Michael Ford. He went up but didn't have to go up very high and batted the ball down. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
That's good coverage by Michael Ford, supposedly a weak link. He was impressive on that play, and he was impressive in the last play last Saturday night against Roxana, where he made an interception.
There's some thought that the Piasaw Birds think that Ford is the guy to work against in that Explorer defensive backfield. Ford now playing right cornerback. And 3rd and 11 Southwestern. Shearseth, quick slip screen out the left side, and Brett Greenwell misses a tackle for the Explorers, but Dalton Holm is there to clean up. Making the reception was Michael Davis. He broke that initial tackle attempt and gained a yard, but the Piasaw Birds now will be in a punting situation facing 4th and 10. Brett Greenwell came up quickly on that slip screen, couldn't make the tackle, but Dalton Holm was there to save the day for the Explorers, and now Holm will stand back at his own 15-yard line, awaiting the Southwestern punt. Jacob Giuliano, back in punt formation, stands at his own 38, awaiting the snap. He gets a good one and gets the kick away. It's a low-line drive, and Holm will watch it hit, and it takes a Piasaw Bird bounce and rolls all the way down to the Explorer 4-yard line. And I'm not sure why Holm, I don't know if you want him to come up and field that or not. It's a bouncing football. But there is a flag on the play as well. The flag lying at the 21.
Well, it's against Marquette, but the thing is that there was some room for him to pick the ball up, and if he stopped in his tracks right there, it's a better situation than here.
From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products.
At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
You don't know Jack Smith! In Wood River, Illinois.
Now they start on their own 2-yard line.
And now they may go back even further because they discuss options with the Piasa Birds, and this will go against Marquette to be half the distance to the goal line. Personal foul against the Explorers, and they'll move it back half the distance back to the 2-yard line. So only a 2-yard penalty, but starting at your own 4 is bad enough. Now they start at the 2. Marquette's first possession of the night. 9:27 remaining first quarter. Double wing formation, and here is Halm keeping it himself. Faked the handoff to the fullback, Derek Sterrett, and Halm gained a yard out to the 3-yard line. 2nd and 9 for the Explorers right there. Yeah, your point is a good one, Coach Rogers. That is, even if Halm on that punt had just come up and covered the football, he could have done so out at the 15 or 20-yard line, and the Explorers would have had much better field position. Receivers left and right. Lawless wide left, John Piper wide right, double wing formation, 2nd and 9, Marquette from their own 3. A man in motion to the right side, and it's a busted play, and Halm just covers the football, goes down at the 2-yard line, a loss of a yard there. He turned and looked for somebody to hand off to, and I think it was the motion man he was looking for, but the mesh wasn't there, and Halm just went down. A loss of a yard. Now it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Explorers from their own 2. So not a good start for Marquette here with the bad field position. Piper wide right, another receiver wide left, double wing. Halm under center, fumbles the snap, picks it up at the 1, trying to run out to the left side, crosses the 5 to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and all the way out to about the 27-yard line, and that was near disaster. Turned into gold by Dalton Halm. He took it all the way out to the 27, a gain of 25 on the carry when the ball was on the ground at the 1.
I don't think that was in the playbook, Coach Sam.
That's enough to give a coach a heart attack when you see him fumble the snap like that at the 1-yard line. And usually you think just cover the football, but Halm picked it up and gained 25 yards. The first down of the night for the Explorers, 1st and 10. Now they're out of that hole, and now they go to that pistol formation. A man in motion to the right side. Here is the give to Derek Sterrett, going left. Sterrett to the left sideline, breaks a tackle to midfield to the 40 and all the way down to the 36 of the Piasa Birds. A big run there by Derek Sterrett.
He's picking up where he left off last week, Sam. Sterrett's load.
37 yards on that carry for Derek Sterrett, and another first down for Marquette. So moments ago, they were at their own 2, and now they're all the way down to the Piasa Bird 35-yard line. Actually, 38 on that carry for Sterrett from the pistol formation. 1st and 10, Marquette. And now movement up front. And we'll see who moved first. Both the defense and the offense jumped.
I think it was the left tackle.
I think actually the defense came across first. No, it's illegal motion against Marquette. You have better eyes than I do. So a 5-yard walk-off, and this is something that has killed Marquette all year long. You get a nice drive going and suddenly jump, and instead of 1st and 10, you're at 1st and 15. The line of scrimmage, the Southwestern 40-yard line. The clock rolling with 7.5 minutes remaining in a thus far scoreless first quarter. Halm in that pistol formation, and a bad snap. He goes back and picks it up in midfield and manages to dive forward to the 48. That'll go as a loss of 8. As that snap went over the shoulder of Halm. I don't think it was over his head. I think it went right over his shoulder. And I'm not so sure that maybe he wasn't looking for the snap at that moment. So now 2nd and 23 for the Explorers. So after 2 big plays for Marquette, 2 bad plays, a 5-yard penalty and then an 8-yard loss. 2nd and 23. And now whistles and flags prior to the snap, and Marquette is self-destructing right here. They had runs of 25 and 38 yards on back-to-back plays. Had it 1st and 10 at the Southwestern 35-yard line. Now 2 penalties and a bad snap later. It's going to be 2nd and 28. This doesn't look like Week 9 football, does it?
Not at all, Sam.
Looks like something you'd see in a preseason scrimmage. 2nd and 28 Explorers from their own 47-yard line. Trips to the left side, another receiver wide right. Halm in that pistol formation, rolls to his right, looking downfield. Now he'll run with the football.
And he
lost
the
football, and I think he covered it himself, but it's going to be a loss of 2 on that play. That's the second time the Explorers have put the football on the ground on this possession. Now 3rd and 30 for the Explorers. Clock rolling with 5:48 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Southwestern and Marquette. The line of scrimmage, the Explorer 45. They need to get to the 25 of Southwestern. 3rd and 30. And back to throw home. They set up that middle screen. He completes it to Starrett, but Southwestern was ready for that. Starrett thrown for a 2-yard loss.
Southwestern did a good job of smelling that screen out. Marquette ran it last week, and a highly successful play, so their scouting report, Southwestern scouting report probably brought that out.
Although it was worth a shot, you're probably not going to throw the ball deep in that situation, and so a draw play or a screen pass is called for, but Southwestern was very alert to it, and now John Piper with the punt for the Explorers. It's a weak kick, and the Explorers will cover it at the Southwestern 36-yard line. That's not even as far as the original line of scrimmage was there. The Explorers started that series at the 35 of Southwestern. The punt goes to the 36, and the Piasaw Birds take over 1st and 10 right there with 4:50 remaining here in the first quarter.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you, with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance, today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Everybody's saying buy American, but not me. I just want you to come drive American. Come out today and see for yourself. No one has a more impressive selection of vehicles than Ford. Whether it's a Focus, Fusion, Escape, Edge, F-150, or any other Ford product, no one can beat Ford's quality. Not Toyota, not Honda, not anybody.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years, just off Route 3 or Highway 67 in Alton, or at RiverBender.com.
Scoreless thus far. So each team picked up a first down or 2. Marquette picked up 2. Southwestern picked up 1 on their first possessions and then punted. So the Piasaw Birds with their second possession. 1st and 10, and now they go with a tight formation. Quarterback in the shotgun, and here is the handoff to Tyler Dunham, and he is tripped up immediately for no gain, maybe a loss, and that was Bob Bloomberg on the tackle for the Explorers. He got some penetration. Just one of 2 seniors for the Explorers. A loss of a yard on that carry for Dunham. 2nd and 11, Southwestern from their own 34. 2 receivers to the left side, another receiver wide right. Jones in the backfield with Shearseth, who drops to throw. He's got time. Looking down the left side, now he's going to run with it. Out to the 40, sidesteps a tackle. To the 45, across midfield and out of bounds at the Explorer 49-yard line. A gain of 17 on that scramble by Nick Shearseth, and a first down for the Piasaw Birds. Well, Southwestern has 2 Piasaw Birds, and they both come on scrambles by Shearseth. And he shows some shiftiness as on each of those scrambles he broke a tackle along the way. Now Shearseth under center with a lone setback. 2 receivers right, 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Shearseth now changing the play and calling out those signals as they went no huddle, so they've got some time, but they took too much time, and that'll be the first penalty of the night against the Piasaw Birds, a delay of game penalty. So when you come to the line and try to call the signals there and then change your mind in midstream.
Well, he called the automatic there, but he took so darn long to get the ball snapped.
So now,
like he was a little confused.
1st and 15, Piasaw Birds. Now on their own side of midfield. 1st and 15 from their own 46. And neither team looking particularly sharp here in the early going. 4:05 remaining in the first quarter. We're scoreless. Trips to the right side. Now Shearseth in the shotgun. And he rolls to his right. Sets. And lets it go over the middle. And it is batted around and falls incomplete. Michael Davis said he came up with it. He was the 3rd Piasaw Bird to get a hand on it. It hit the hands of the initial receiver. Bounced off of his hands. Was touched by another Piasaw Bird, and finally, as it went to the ground, Michael Davis made a diving attempt but couldn't get there. 2nd and 15 Piasaw Birds from their own 46. 2 receivers wide right. Michael Hoxie along with Michael Davis. And Shearseth in the shotgun. Drops to throw. Rolling to his right. Lets it go out to the right sideline. Completes it to Davis. And then he is hammered on the far sideline. Dalton Halm hit him there after a short gain. So Davis makes the reception. Good for a gain of 7 on the play. But it brings about 3rd and 8 for the Piasaw Birds. Shearseth has completed 2 of 4 passes for 8 yards. 3rd and 8 Southwestern at the Marquette 48-yard line, 47-yard line. 2 receivers wide left. Here is the fake handoff. Now a pass over the middle, intercepted by the Explorers, and with the interception, it's Jimmy Lawless. Another Explorer got his hands on the ball. Then I think it hit the hands of a Piasaw Bird before Lawless finally came away with it, and the Explorers are in business at their own 35. That was like a pinball machine. I think 3 different players touched it, with Lawless finally coming away with it. So that's the first turnover of the night, and the Explorers start this possession in much better field position, starting at their own 35 rather than their own 2 like they did on their first possession. And from that pistol formation, the Explorers draw whistles and flags as they had 2 men in motion. They had Michael Ford in motion to the right side, and then it was Derek Sterrett, who was the setback, who jumped prior to the snap. So that's Marquette's 4th penalty here in the first quarter. And again, they'll start 1st and 15. You just can't do that.
Well, that last week proved that. They only had 1 or 2 penalties, and they won the ball game. You can't kill yourself by absent-mindedness.
Yeah, there's no real excuse for that other than just not concentrating. A pair of receivers to each side of the field. Now Ford goes in motion to the right side, and here's the handoff to Sterrett working off the right side of the line. He crosses the 30 and takes it out to the 32-yard line, a gain of 2 for Sterrett on that carry. Only his 2nd carry of the night. He picked up 38 on his first carry. Picks up just 2 there, 2nd and 13 for the Explorers from their own 32-yard line. Clock rolling with 3:15 remaining first quarter. We're still scoreless. And we'll be all night if each team keeps picking up penalties like they have here in the early going. Now the snap bounces off the hands of Halm. He grabs it out of the air and takes off running to the left side, crosses the 40 to midfield and all the way down to about the 43 of the Piasaw Birds. Now a flag is thrown well behind the play as Derek Sterrett for Marquette and number 55 for Southwestern. That was Stephen Fritsch got into it. We'll see how that penalty is assessed. Little extracurriculars behind the play, but in the meantime, 10, 20, about 24 yards on that carry for Dalton Holm. Now they pick up the flag. No penalty. So a 24-yard pickup by Holm, but that was only after he juggled the snap.
I wonder if the Explorers have a new center this week. Because the mesh between the center and the quarterback has not been very good.
On the first down play at the 44, the Explorers now 2 more men in motion.
Gee.
Michael Ford started in motion, and then Sterrett went to move into a receiver position from his setback position. And that's the 3rd illegal motion penalty for Marquette here in the first quarter. And now, a timeout on the field. It's Coach Tim Nelson. He says, I need a timeout. I need to figure out what's going on. 2:57 remaining first quarter. Marquette nothing, Southwestern nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
I'll grab the birthday cake, you bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Marquette head coach Tim Nelson asked for a timeout after the Explorers committed their 5th first quarter penalty. 1st and 15 Explorers at the 49 of the Piasaw Birds. Double wing formation. And Holm is going to go under center with a receiver wide to the right side. They put a man in motion to the left side and run the option to the left side. The pitch back hits the ground, is picked up by the running back, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. That was LaShawn Whedon. I think it hit the ground, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it was a bad pitch. So that's at least the 3rd time Marquette's put the football on the ground. But they have not turned it over. A loss of a yard on that play. Charged to LaShawn Whedon, but he never got the football cleanly. 2nd and 15 for the Explorers. No gain, actually, on the play. 2nd and 15, double wing with the receiver wide to the right side, another man wide left. Back to throw. Holm launches it deep down the right sideline, intended for Piper. He makes the catch at the 20, on his feet at the 15, and spun down there. And John Piper shows that he is a quality receiver as he brought that one down. And a gain on the play of 34 yards. Call it 33. From Holm to John Piper. Piper went out last week with a shoulder injury, but he's back this week. The 4th first down of the night for the Explorers. 1st and 10 as they put the football down at the 16 of Southwestern. Receivers left and right, double wing formation. Man in motion to the right side, and Holm keeps it himself, working to the right side, to the 10, to the 5, on his feet down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal for the Explorers right there after the 15-yard pickup by Dalton Holm. So the Explorers moving the football now after that timeout. 2 big plays. Dalton Holm was the Knights of Columbus Quarterback Club Offensive Back of the Week last week. Derek Sterrett, the Defensive Lineman of the Week, and the Explorer Offensive Line, the Offensive Line of the Week. They put that football down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Explorers right there. Double tight, double wing. Here is the give to Derek Sterrett, the fullback, and he just bulls his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Marquette breaks on top. It comes with 1:17 remaining here in the first quarter, and the Explorers cap off a 65-yard touchdown drive. Well, they look a little more crisp after that timeout. Coach Nelson must have had a few choice words.
You suppose?
Like, get your heads out of wherever they are because they're not in a football game. So now Jimmy Lawless will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Dalton Halm. They line it up as the Explorers attempt to tack on point number 7. The snap to spot, the kick, it's up, it's high, it's long, and it's good. 1:17 remaining first quarter. Marquette 7, Southwestern nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
A Southwestern turnover leads to a 65-yard touchdown drive for Marquette. So the Explorers, despite 3 fumbles, a couple of bad snaps, and 5 penalties, leads 7-0. And now the squib kick taken by one of the up men. He was on a knee. That was Dunham for Southwestern, Tyler Dunham. He fielded the football like a shortstop, down on one knee. And in football, when you do that, you're down. 1st and 10, Pius Birds from their own 33-yard line. So when you stop and think that Marquette has fumbled 3 times, had a couple of bad snaps for losses,
how many penalties?
5 first quarter penalties, it's amazing that they're up 7-0, but the Southwestern turnover cost them. So now we'll see what the Pius Birds can do here as they put trips to the left side. A running back in the backfield with Shearseth, who's in the shotgun. Fakes the slip screen to the left side, now launches it deep down the left side. He's got a man open, but it's picked off by Dalton Halm at the 34. Halm back the other way to the 40, to midfield. Halm now trying to break it out to the left side, gets a great block to the 40, to the 35, to the 30. Still on his feet at the 25 and bumped out of bounds at the 20-yard line. What a great interception by Dalton Halm. The Pius Birds had a man open. The intended receiver, Michael Hoxie, was behind Halm, but the pass underthrown just a little bit. Dalton Halm intercepted it, and he got a great block out here around midfield.
Yes, he did.
That sprung him for about another 20 yards. He took it all the way down to the 22. 1st and 10 Explorers right there. The 2nd straight turnover for Southwestern. Turnovers on 2 consecutive possessions, and now Marquette has a chance to really gain some momentum here. Here is a man in motion to the right side, whistles and flags prior to the snap, and Marquette maybe was in motion again. It is illegal procedure against Marquette, their 6th first quarter penalty. That is astounding in week 9. And I mean, they're all just concentration penalties, aren't they? Every one of them. Well, they did have a personal foul. Their first penalty was a personal foul, but then since then, 5 straight procedure penalties or motion penalties, all on Marquette's offense. Receivers left and right. Double wing formation, 1st and 15 Marquette. Quick slant to the right side. Oh, incomplete. Piper, the intended receiver. The pass was a little bit low. It looked like he was going to grab it anyway, but did not come away with the football. 2nd and 15 Explorers. You could ask, what does Marquette call on 1st and 10? And the answer is, I don't know, because they haven't had a 1st and 10. They've all been 1st and 15, haven't they? Seems like all night long. On every 1st and 10, they've had a penalty and been 1st and 15. Now 2nd and 15 Explorers at the 27 of Southwestern. A pair of receivers to each side of the field. Halm in that pistol formation, snap over his head. He goes back, tries to pick it up. It's still loose. Still loose, and Southwestern, I think, has recovered at the Marquette 48-yard line. And Halm made a big mistake there because he should have covered it instead of trying to pick it up. So the fourth time Marquette has fumbled, the first time they've lost it. And Marquette gives it right back to Southwestern at the Explorer 48-yard line. I think, I'd have to double check, but I think Michael Cook has been the center. And I think in the past, A.J. Lipka has played center. Now here is the, oh man, what a hit by Derek Sterrett. Shearseth handed the football to Dunham, and Sterrett was there at the same time. Dunham says, get the number of that bus. A 4-yard loss. Holy smokes.
Dunham very easily could have fumbled that ball because of Sterrett being in there so quickly.
That was a hit. And it came awfully, awfully quickly from Dunham's perspective. Now 2nd and 14 Southwestern from their own 48-yard line. Two receivers wide left, backs in the eye behind Shearseth, who went under center. Sterrett hits Shearseth as he lets it go, and it is intercepted by the Explorers. Marquette comes away with it. That's John Piper with the interception, but credit that to Derek Sterrett, who just hammered Shearseth just as he let the ball go, and it was a wounded duck that that Piper easily caught over on the far sideline.
The quarterback never saw him coming because Sterrett came from the blind side and he just buried him.
Well, that was the final play of the first quarter. The score after 12 minutes of action at Public School Stadium in Alton, Marquette 7, Southwestern nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Red or black, silver or gold, new or used. At First Mid-America Credit Union, they know options are important to you. That's why they've made relationships with local dealerships where you'll receive all the extras with First Mid-America Credit Union's low rates and financing done on the spot. All you have to do is decide what you want. Your car, our loans, they're made for each other. www.1stmidamerica.org or call 618-258-3168 to speak to a representative.
With John Rogers, Sam Stanback at Public School Stadium in Alton. 1st and 10 Marquette from their own 37. 3 Southwestern interceptions in the first half. 3 thrown by the Pius Birds. Now Halm runs the quarterback keeper. Ran the option to the right side. Holm kept it himself and gained a yard. Well, it appears Marquette has had to make a change at center. A.J. Lipka normally plays center. He is over here on the bench on the near sideline with his helmet off, so he's been shaken up or for some reason is not in the lineup, and Michael Cook has taken over at center. And there have been some problems, especially when Halm has been in that pistol formation. Now Marquette runs the wing counter to LaShawn Wheaton. Big hole! Wheaton's going to go all the way. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, LaShawn Wheaton. 62 yards. As soon as he broke the line of scrimmage, you knew he was gone. The biggest gainer of the season for LaShawn Wheaton, and Marquette leads by 2 touchdowns. Well, the offensive line for Marquette opened a huge hole, and as soon as Whedon hit it, it was obvious the sophomore running back was gone all the way as they ran that wing counter. So 3 Southwestern turnovers. 2 of the 3 have led to Marquette touchdowns. A 63-yard touchdown drive that time. Now here is the kick by Jimmy Lawless, and it is through, and I don't think he's missed one since he took over the kicking duties. 11-11 remaining in the first half. Marquette 14, Southwestern nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got top, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from...
To a military family, a phone call home is priceless, but these phone calls are expensive. By donating a used cell phone through Cell Phones for Soldiers, Weber Granite City Chevrolet is helping U.S. service members get a free 60-minute calling card. Cell Phones for Soldiers addresses an everyday emotional need that everyone has experienced, the need to call home, to hear a familiar voice while far away. If you have a cell phone you're not using, please donate it to us at Weber Granite City Chevrolet for the Cell Phones for Soldiers program.
Well, Marquette has been a beneficiary of 3 turnovers. They have intercepted 3 Nick Shearseth passes. 2 of the 3 have led to touchdown drives of 65 and 63 yards. 62 of it on the last drive, coming on one play, the run by sophomore LaShawn Wheaton. And the Explorers have a 14-0 lead, and now they're set to kick off. And Nick Schrank will kick it this time, and he squibs it down the near sideline, and it's going to roll all the way down into the into the end zone, 1 yard deep into the end zone. That return man for Southwestern, that was Michael Davis. He tried to pick it up a couple of times, never did touch it, and then finally thought, I'll let it roll, and it just rolled across the goal line before it rolled dead. Otherwise, Southwestern was going to be in a big heap of trouble. 1st and 10, Piasaw Birds from their own 20-yard line. Well, Southwestern has come out throwing the football. They've completed only 2 of 7 passes, and Marquette has intercepted 3 of those 7 attempts. 14-0 Explorers. And the Piasaw Birds send receivers left and right. 2 receivers wide left, another receiver wide right. Shearseth in the shotgun with a running back standing next to him, and Shearseth keeps it himself, running to the left side, crosses the 25, takes it out to the 26-yard line for a gain of 6. And that's been the bulk of their offense. 3 carries by Shearseth for 36 yards. Other than that, they have minus rushing yardage and only 8 yards passing with 3 interceptions. 2nd and 4, Southwestern from their own 26. 2 receivers to the right, another receiver to the left. The back's in the eye behind Shearseth, who's under center, whistles and flags. And now Southwestern, are they going to get a penalty, or did Marquette jump into the neutral zone? No, this will go against the Piasaw Birds, an illegal procedure penalty. Only their 2nd of the night, compared to 6 for the Explorers. Again, when you look at the fact that Marquette has had 4 fumbles, 1 of them lost, 6 penalties, several snaps over the head of the quarterback, and yet they lead 14-0, it almost doesn't add up. But the Piasaw Birds haven't really been able to move the football, with the exception of a couple of big runs by Nick Shearseth. 2nd and 9, Southwestern. Receivers left and right, Shearseth under center, the back's in the eye, and he drops to throw. Lets it go out to the left side, completes it. The tackle made immediately by Jack Miller for the Explorers, but that's going to be enough for a first down for the Piasaw Birds, as that pass was caught by Ryan Casting. And actually, they don't give him a good spot. I thought he had forward progress across the 30. They put him down at the 29, a gain of 8 on that completion. The first reception of the night for Casting. And it's 3rd and 1, Piasaw Birds, and here is the run right up the middle, good for a first down. Shearseth on the carry, picked up 6. Good for the 3rd first down of the night for the Piasaw Birds. Southwestern 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. 2 receivers wide right, another receiver wide left. Shearseth under center, turns, gives it to the tailback. That's Dunham. Dunham crosses the 35 and dances his way out to the 39-yard line, a gain of 4. Tyler Dunham, 4 carries for minus 2 yards. 2nd and 6, Piasaw Birds. The clock rolling with 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Marquette leading it 14-0. And now a timeout on the field, an official's timeout, as one of the Explorers has an equipment problem out there. Dalton Holm is trying to fix somebody's helmet. Not his own. He's got one on his head. He was doing the work for Brad Eming.
No, I think it was Piper, wasn't it?
Well, I'm not sure, but Dalton Holm took charge and got the situation.
As a quarterback should.
Taken care of, and now Shearseth, long pass down the left sideline, and that is caught! Oh no, it's incomplete. Incomplete. John Piper went up for Marquette, and I thought very nearly had another interception.
Yes, I thought he did.
And then I thought the intended receiver might have come down with it, but he did not. That was Michael Hoxie. It was really a jump ball over there. Either player could have come down with it. Neither did. Shearseth now just 3 of 9 for 16 yards and 3 interceptions. 3rd and 6, Piasaw Birds from their own 39. And from the shotgun formation, Shearseth keeps it himself, trying to find some running room to the right side, gets a block, tries to sidestep a tackle, takes it out to the 43-yard line, but he's going to be a yard or two shy of a first down. He picked up 3, and it's going to be 4th and 2 for the Piasaw Birds. And Southwestern appears to be sending the punting team out there. But the Explorers thus far have not put anybody deep. Now Halm starts to drift back as Jacob Giuliano drops back in punt formation for Southwestern, standing at his own 32-yard line. He gets a good snap. He gets the kick away. It's a high end-over-end kick, and Halm will let it hit. And it takes a Marquette bounce, hits at the 25, and bounces out to the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Explorers right there. So Marquette has played pretty sound defensively. They've struggled some on offense, but have put together 2 long touchdown drives. Really, their struggles have come in 2 categories. 1, getting a snap back to Dalton Holm when he's in that pistol formation. And it remains Michael Cook in there at center, as A.J. Lipka remains here on the near sideline, but Marquette now goes double wing with Holm under center. He turns and gives it to Derek Sterrett, who just bursts his way out to the 35-yard line. Just shy of the 35, a gain of 5 on that carry for Derek Sterrett, actually a gain of 6. Sterrett 3 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 4 for the Explorers from their own 35-yard line. Down to 8 minutes and counting remaining here in the first half. And a touchdown drive right here for Marquette would be huge, as they already lead 14-0. A receiver to the left side, that's Piper. And here is the give to Sterrett, looking for a hole, found one, but it closed quickly, crossed the 35 and took it out to the 36, maybe the 37. A gain of a yard, 3rd and a short 3 for the Explorers. Now Jack Miller checks in from the near sideline with a play from head coach Tim Nelson. Marquette has made the playoffs 4 consecutive years. Southwestern 3 consecutive years. One of those streaks will be broken. One team will go to the playoffs. The other will call it a season. 3rd and 3 for the Explorers from their own 36-yard line. Here's the handoff to LaShawn Whedon, and he takes it out to the 45-yard line. A gain of 9 on that carry for a first down, and he was about a step shy of breaking that one for another touchdown.
You knew who threw the block, though, was Michael Cook. He's playing offensive tackle. He's the one that pulled and trapped the outside man to allow Whedon to get the first down.
1st and 10 for the Explorers, just shy of their own 45-yard line. Receivers left and right, double wing formation. Here's the give to the fullback Sterrett on a counter to the right side. They brought motion to the left and gave it to Sterrett going right, and he crossed the 45 and took it out to the 47-yard line, a gain of 3 on that carry. Sterrett 5 carries for 50 yards. The clock rolling with 6:25 remaining here in the first half. Marquette with a 14-0 lead, and they're driving. This possession started at their own 29. They have touchdown drives of 65 and 63 yards. 2nd and 7 Explorers from their own 48. Double wing, receivers left and right. Ford in motion to the right side. Quick pass out to the right side. They complete it there to Piper. Piper weaving his way down the right sideline. John Piper's going to go all the way for the touchdown. 53 yards on the pass from home to Piper. And the Explorers have a 3-touchdown lead.
What that was, it was a little slip screen out to the right, and Piper just backed off the line of scrimmage, and 2 blockers right in front of him, and Holm delivered the ball, and he was gone.
Piper's 2nd reception of the night, 2 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown. Holm has completed 3 of 4 passes for 84 yards and a touchdown. And now Jimmy Lawless for the extra point out of the hold of Dalton Holm. The kick up high, long, and it's good. 5:52 remaining first half. The score now, Marquette 21, Southwestern nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
you don't know Jack Schmidt in Wood River, Illinois.
Yeah!
From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products.
Sam Stem along with John Rogers back at Public School Stadium in Alton. Marquette with a 21-0 lead midway through the second quarter. Jimmy Lawless is 3 for 3 on extra points here tonight, and I don't think he's missed one since he started kicking them. He's a freshman. He might kick a whole bunch of extra points before his career at Marquette is done. And it's too bad he wasn't kicking them back in the Vandalia game, because with a couple of extra points, Marquette wouldn't be fighting for their playoff lives here tonight. But Marquette with a big 21-0 lead over the Piasaw Birds, despite some not very headsy play in the early going. Now the kick returned by the Piasaw Birds from their own 21. That's Dunham out across the 25, and he is smacked to the turf right there
by Jack Miller.
Also in on the tackle for the Explorers, Blake Bamper. Bamper, a sophomore, in on the tackle along with Miller. And the Piasaw Birds have dug themselves a huge hole right here, trailing 21-0, fighting for their playoff lives.
Well, it's too early to panic, but I would think Southwestern will try throwing the ball the rest of this half.
Well, they came out throwing early, but they've completed as many to Marquette as they have to their own receivers. Shearseth drops to throw, now whistles and flags. A.J. Lipka is playing defense, but he's not playing offense. He had been the center in the past.
I think Sean Etley is playing center, number 54.
Well, at any rate, Marquette did make a change there, and it has come into play on a couple of occasions. But
it's limited their ability to run out of the shotgun.
But the way they've been running the football, maybe they don't need to. So, an illegal procedure penalty against Southwestern, their third of the night. 1st and 15, Piasaw Birds from their own 22. Shearseth drops. Now, under pressure, scrambling to his left, lets the pass go, and it's batted down, incomplete. Now a flag is thrown. And I'm not sure what the penalty's for.
I don't think he was roughed.
Yeah, well, roughing the passer is the call. Well, I didn't see it, but I was looking downfield and couldn't figure out why the football didn't go downfield, and that's because Bob Bloomberg, I think, batted it down, knocked it down, And then I guess they say that somebody from Marquette got a piece of Shearseth. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty, the 7th of the first half against the Explorers. All the way out to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, Piasaw Birds right there. Their fourth first down of the night. They put a receiver to the right side. Unbalanced line to the right. Now, before the snap, the officials stop everything with 5:36 remaining here in the second quarter. 21-0 Explorers. The teams were ready before the officials were. Now they mark the ball ready for play. Backs in the I formation behind Shearseth, and they stop the play. I think almost every first down for both teams has been 1st and 15. That's a 5-yard walk-off against Southwestern for a false start. 1st and 15, Piasaw Birds. And on top of neither team being exceptionally sharp, the officials are very eagle-eyed, because I didn't see anything out of the ordinary there, did you?
No, I did not.
Other than all the yellow flags, and that's not extraordinary in this game. Oh, here we go again. And now I think the official on the near sideline blew the whistle, threw the flag, and then turned around and stuck his finger in the face of one of the Marquette coaches, but it's a delay of game against the Piasaw Birds, and I think maybe the Marquette coach might have said, hey, just let them play. That's unusual, where you see an official call a penalty against the visiting team and then turn around and chew out a coach for the home team.
Probably told him to be quiet. I'll officiate the ball game. You get on the sideline.
Southwestern wants a timeout. 5:16 remaining second quarter. Marquette 21, Southwestern nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Why is Roberts Motors #1 in Ford certified pre-owned sales in the St. Louis Metro East?
Visit the 169-point inspection all our vehicles go through.
Maybe it's because we've been doing it for over 60 years.
Or is it the large selection we keep in stock at all times?
Personally, I think the answer is all the above. Stop in today and see. Nobody does pre-owned better than Roberts Motors.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years in Alton, Illinois, or on the web at RiverBender.com.
To-do lists rarely need more to do. So, at American Family, we offer a variety of products at affordable prices with the convenience of a single agent. From auto and homeowners to business and life insurance. This is Gerard Fisher with American Family Insurance. Give me a call at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Stop by at 739 Silver Street in Alton. Maxine's Daycare and Learning Center, where little people color our world.
Shearseth throwing deep on the 1st and 20 play down the right sideline, and it's incomplete, but a flag is thrown. The ball was underthrown, intended for Michael Hoxie. The Marquette defender stopped to try to catch the underthrown ball, and then the Southwestern defender tried to come over his back to get to it, and I'm not sure what they're calling here. If it's against Marquette, I think it's a bad call. Yep. Well, it is against Marquette. I mean, the ball's underthrown and the defender stops, and the receiver who's behind him, no, they're going to call it against Southwestern. If you're going to call interference there, that's what you got to call. No, they're going to call it against Marquette.
See, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, rather than a spot foul. But I don't know how you call pass interference there, where the ball's underthrown, the defender stops, and the receiver tries to come over his back. He doesn't have to give the receiver a path to the football, does he?
No, they're entitled to their position.
That's a horrible call.
This guy here on this sideline, I think he's got a short fuse. I think he's still steaming over the comment made by the Marquette coach.
So a 15-yard walk-off and a first down. And here is the pitch back, and Dunham drops the football. and covers it for about a 5-yard loss. The line of scrimmage was the 43 of the Piasaw Birds. And Dunham, as he was hit by Derek Sterrett, lost the football all the way back at his own 38-yard line, a loss of 5. Dunham, 7 carries for minus 7 yards. So the Southwestern running game has not gotten untracked, with the exception of scrambles by their quarterback, Nick Shearseth. And their passing game has not clicked either. They've completed only 3 of 6 passes for 16 yards. Although they did get 15 on that pass interference call. Shearseth drops to throw on the first down play. Over the middle, dropped. He hit Michael Hoxie right in the hands across midfield, and he just dropped it. So nothing going right for the Piasaw Birds here. I'm still astounded by that pass interference call. Not that it really has hurt Marquette that much, but that's just a horrible call. When the ball's underthrown and the defender stops to try to go back for it, and then the offensive player tries to come over the back of the defender.
Well, that shouldn't have been a penalty either.
Either way, no. Both players were just going for the football. 3rd and 15 for the Piasaw Birds from their own 38-yard line. And Shearseth drops to throw, fakes an end around, now just launches it out of bounds over the right side. And
I would say yes, there it is.
Intentional grounding. There was no receiver anywhere near there. And so that's going to be an intentional grounding call against the Piasaw Birds. That'll be a loss of yardage and a loss of down. And it's going to be 4th and forever for Southwestern. And absolutely nothing is going their way. Well, there was a lot of concern because for much of the season, Marquette has been very vulnerable to a passing attack. But they haven't been vulnerable here tonight. So a 5-yard walk-off against Southwestern on intentional grounding, loss of down, and now it's 4th and 20 Southwestern from their own 33. We're down to 4:08 remaining in the first half. Marquette with a 21-0 lead. Jacob Giuliano, back in punt formation, stands at his own 21, gets the kick away. And Dalton Halm will watch it hit. It takes a Southwestern bounce, and Halm picks it up at his own 30. Gets a block. Coming to the left side, but can't turn the corner and loses a yard on the return. And they threw a flag on that block. The block was by Jack Miller, but they're going to call a clip there. And so Marquette, instead of starting from their own 29, will be back around their own 15-yard line. And there is a Piasaw Bird down and injured. They stopped the clock with 3:53 remaining here in the first half. Marquette 21, Southwestern nothing. And I think the player that was clipped is the player that's injured.
I don't think he was clipped. Jack Miller peeled back, and he hit him with his head in front of him. And that's not a clip.
Well, the officials thought it was.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Of course, they thought that other one was pass interference.
That's
and
right.
It wasn't pass interference, so they're not having
It was the other guy on the other side of the field.
3:53 remaining first half. Marquette 21, Southwestern nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports with John Rogers. My name is Sam Stem. You're in tune to WBGZ Alton as we come up on 8 o'clock on a Friday night, week 9 of the high school football season. Don't forget, following this one, we've got East Alton, Wood River, and Roxana coming your way. A South Central Conference showdown and a big rivalry there. The Piasaw Birds, or rather the Shells and the Oilers. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, the Illini homecoming game. Illinois hosting Indiana. That's live here on the Big Z. And then about 2:30, play-by-play of tonight's Alton-O'Fallon contest taking place down at O'Fallon. 1st and 10 Explorers from their own 19-yard line. Halm under center, drops to throw. Now he steps up and decides to run, and he's got nowhere to go. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Explorers. He looked for Piper on the right sideline, but he was the only receiver out there, and he was double covered.
Yep.
So maybe a good decision by Halm to pull it down. 2nd down and 10 for the Explorers. Halm lost about a half a yard, 2nd and a long 10, just outside their own 18-yard line for the Explorers. Receivers left and right, double wing formation. Ford in motion to the right side, and they run the wing counter to LaShawn Whedon. Whedon, one man to beat. We know a shoestring tackle from behind as he took it out to the 45-yard line. A 22-yard pickup there by LaShawn Whedon, and if that defender hadn't gotten him, he was gone again.
Again, it was the same play, that wing-back counter coming from the right side, and it was Cook again throwing the trap block.
Well, Whedon broke one earlier for 62 yards for a touchdown, and very, very nearly went 82 on that one. Instead, a 22-yard pickup, the 8th first down of the night for the Explorers. And here's the give now to Ford on the wing counter to the other side. Ford out across the 40 to the 45 to midfield where he steps out of bounds. A 15-yard pickup for Michael Ford. He's quick, but not near as quick as LaShawn Whedon. And they say that Ford went out of bounds at the 49, so a pickup of 14. That's his first carry of the night.
And guess who was out there trapping? Cook.
Michael Cook.
Yep. They must be rotating him.
1st and 10 for the Explorers at their own 49-yard line. Marquette already leading 21-0. Jimmy Lawless wide to the left side. John Piper wide right. Halm under center. Double wing formation. Whedon in motion to the left side. The toss sweep to Whedon. Whedon tries to step outside, a block by Ford. Yes to midfield. Lost the football, and the Piasaw Birds have recovered it. Marquette's 2nd turnover of the night. That's their 5th fumble. 2 of them lost, and the Piasaw Birds dodge a bullet there. Well, Whedon tried to put on a move or two, but the first job is to protect the football.
And he was hanging it out there, hanging the football out there.
Carrying it like a loaf of bread, and you can't do that. That's a sophomore mistake. Of course, they've had juniors make that mistake. They don't have enough they don't have any senior ball carriers, so they can't help in that regard. Backs in the eye behind Shearseth, turns, gives it to Dunham. Big hole, crosses the 45 down to the 44-yard line. A gain of 5 on that carry by Tyler Dunham. And you really get the feeling that the Piasaw Birds, more than anything, need to establish that running game. If they can do that, then maybe they can go back to throwing it. They have 48 yards rushing here in the first half, but 45 of that is by their quarterback, Nick Shearseth, on scrambles. 2nd and 5, Southwestern at the Marquette 44. Backs in the eye behind Shearseth with 2 receivers wide left, and now the right guard, I think, jumped a hair too quickly. A 5-yard walk-off against Southwestern. That's their 7th penalty for 35 yards. Marquette with 8 penalties for 57 yards, and I'll tell you what, if you just twitch your nose before the ball snaps, they'll throw the flag. Who hired this crew?
Probably Mr. Montag.
I'm not saying they're doing a bad job, but holy smokes, I didn't think Southwestern started early there, but they did. If they did, it was just by an eyelash. 2nd and 10, Piasaw Birds at the Marquette 49. Shearseth in the shotgun. Gets it away just before Sterrett hits him, and he completes the pass down to the 42-yard line. Making the reception was Paul Fritsch. And that's good for a gain of 7, but Shearseth paid a price as Sterrett hit him again. Only the 4th completion of the night for the Piasaw Birds. 3rd and 3 at the Marquette 42-yard line. 2 receivers to the left side, another receiver right. Shearseth in the shotgun, pass out to the left side, and he misses his intended receiver, and John Piper just clobbered Michael Davis, and Davis pointing at Piper saying, "Isn't that a penalty?" And the official says, "No, the ball was just over your head, and he arrived the same time the football did." but it was an uncatchable pass, but the defender doesn't know that. 4 of 12 in the passing department for Nick Shearseth for 23 yards, but he's thrown 3 interceptions. And now on 4th and a long 3, the Piasaw Birds will go at the Marquette 42-yard line. Backs in the eye, and here is the handoff to Dunham, and he gains a yard, but not enough for the first down. Why didn't they do that on 3rd down? So the ball goes over on downs to the Explorers with 36 seconds remaining in the half. And Marquette likely will hand it off here, and we'll call it a half, with Marquette leading 21-0. Although with John Piper in the lineup, why not take a shot, huh? You don't have anything to lose.
Or Wheaton.
Or hand it to LaShawn Wheaton and see what he can do. Well, now Derek Sterrett will line up at quarterback. Holm is one of the wide receivers to the left side. Receivers left and right. Holm in that pistol formation, or Sterrett in that pistol formation, going deep down the left side, and it's incomplete off the hands of Jack Miller, a little bit underthrown. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Explorers as that stops the clock with 29 seconds remaining. Miller had half a chance to catch that. It was a little bit underthrown and falling backwards. He couldn't quite come down with it. So they put Derek Sterrett, who has a little bit better arm than Dalton Holm. And now Sterrett remains in at quarterback in that pistol formation. Gets a good snap. 3-step drop. Quick pass down the right sideline intended for Piper, and he couldn't come down with it as there was good coverage out there by, I think that's Cody Zands, number 11, was it? No, 81. It's Michael Davis, and Davis had good coverage on John Piper. Piper and Davis went up and fought for it. It fell incomplete. So Sterrett 0 for 2. And I guess they'll leave him in there to throw another deep one now with 22 seconds remaining. They put Holm and Whedon wide to the left side. Piper and Miller wide right. And Derek Sterrett at quarterback. 2-step drop. Quick slant over the middle, and it's incomplete. A flag is thrown, and Dalton Holm, the intended receiver, but they're going to flag Southwestern for pass interference. And I'm not sure about that one either. I thought the defender got there about the same time the ball did. Pass interference against Southwestern. Their 8th penalty of the night. 8 against Marquette. And they're going to have to throw those penalty flags in some water here at halftime and cool them off. So a 15-yard walk-off against the Piasaw Birds from the line of scrimmage gives Marquette their 10th first down here in the first half. 15 seconds remaining till halftime. Trips to the right, 2 more receivers wide left. Derek Sterrett, the lone setback, the quarterback. Pass deep down the left side intended for a Holm, incomplete. And Holm turns to the officials and says, hey, he bumped me. Well, it was incidental contact, and the pass was about 10 yards overthrown. Sterrett now 0 for 3. 2nd and 10 Explorers. The line of scrimmage, the Southwestern 44-yard line. 10 seconds remaining in the half. And Sterrett will remain the quarterback. Piper and Miller wide right. Whedon and Holm wide left. Michael Ford, the setback behind Sterrett in that pistol formation. And now whistles and flags at the snap. And the officials just couldn't stand the fact that we had gone 2 plays without a penalty. And I didn't see anything there either.
I didn't either.
Did you? Illegal procedure against Marquette. Man, put them away. Second and 15 Explorers at the Southwestern 49-yard line, now with 9.7 seconds remaining in the half.
And Holm's back at quarterback.
Holmes the quarterback with Derek Sterrett behind him. 2 receivers to each side of the field. Forward in motion to the right side. They hand it to Whedon. Now a flag is thrown. Whedon trying that rush to the left side. Another flag, another flag. I didn't know the officials had 2 flags each, but this guy on the near sideline does because he threw 2 of them. So I don't know what the first penalty was in the Marquette backfield, but then I think they got Whedon's face mask, and then I don't know if maybe Whedon took a shot at the defender. Does each official have 2 flags? Because this guy did. He threw one with his right hand and then threw one with his left hand. And now he's very animated as he explains to the referee what happened. There were 3 different infractions on this play. And if there was one against each team, then the play won't count. And we'll have 2.9 seconds and rerun 2nd and 15. But they're going to take
one may have been
There we go. Illegal motion against Marquette. Face mask against Southwestern. Offsetting penalties. And then unsportsmanlike conduct against the Marquette bench. So I guess somebody on the Marquette bench said something. You're right. This official on the near sideline has a short fuse. So the third penalty was a dead ball foul. It came after the play. So we had the offsetting penalties, and then they walk off 15 against the Explorers, but they walked it off from the wrong place because they walked it off from where that previous play ended. And if those were offsetting penalties, they should have walked it off from the line of scrimmage, but who cares? And I guess the Marquette coaching staff is going to have to get some muzzles at halftime because apparently anything they say enrages this guy on the near sideline. Now Holm on 2nd and about 30 from his own 40-yard line. Deep pass down the middle, and that is nearly picked off, but Derek Sterrett lays out the defender and breaks it up. And with that, we have come to the end of the first half. The score, Marquette 21, Southwestern nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. Buy American.
We got to have a killer instinct here. We've got a 3-touchdown lead, but this game's not over. But it could be if we can go down and score on our first possession of the second half and just take the air out of Southwestern's playoff hopes. Again, we've got Roxana and East Alton Wood River coming up as game 2 of our broadcast doubleheader tonight. And it's hard to believe that it's week 9 already. These seasons just go by. I think, I didn't figure it up. I think, though, this is our 26th or 27th season doing football together here.
26, I believe.
26. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, especially.
Years have flown by.
Yeah.
When we started doing this, we were both young, and
we ain't that anymore.
Speak for yourself. Well, no, you're right. Neither one of us is. And here is a short kick taken by one of the upmen for the Explorers, and he is thrown to the turf at the 25-yard line. Trying to see who that was on the return. Might have been, it was John Piper, I think.
No, it was Lawless.
Oh, Jimmy Lawless. Okay. Lawless, one of the upmen, fielded that ball on the fly and returned it 1 yard. He caught it at the 30, and before he could get going, the Piasaw Birds were on top of him and took it out to the 31. 1st and 10 for the Explorers right there. They send Jimmy Lawless wide to the right side, wide left goes Jack Miller. Double wing formation. Dalton Holm under center. Puts a man in motion to the left side. Keeps it himself. running to the right side and takes it out to about the 35-yard line for a gain of nearly 4 on that carry. And let's just hope, let's just cross our fingers, after 18 penalties were marked off in the first half, let's just hope that maybe the officials said, we've had our fill. We'll just call the obvious stuff and leave everything else go.
No.
A 3-yard gain for Dalton Holm. 8 carries, 56 yards on the night for Holm. 2nd and 7 Explorers from their own 34. Whedon in motion to the left side. They hand it to Whedon. Whedon behind blockers, pounds his way out to the 44-yard line. LaShawn Whedon picks up 10 on that carry and another first down for Marquette. And Whedon has had a breakout game here tonight. 5 carries for 103 yards, and he's running, I think, with more confidence than we've seen him run all season.
Also out there running in a running formation, and ahead of him was Michael Cook.
Now Marquette sends 2 receivers wide right. John Piper with Jack Miller in the slot, double wing formation, the ball on the left hash mark. And Holm takes the snap, runs the option to the right side, turns it upfield, and takes it out across the 45 to the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. A gain of about 3 on that carry for Dalton Holm. He wanted to pitch it. He had a trail back. I think it was Sterrett, but the Piasaw Birds had the trail back covered. 2nd down and 7 for the Explorers, just shy of their own 47-yard line. 10:25 and counting remaining in the third quarter. Marquette leading 21-0. Receivers left and right, double wing formation. A man in motion to the left side, and they give it to Michael Ford on the wing counter to the right side, and he gives ground and loses yardage all the way back to the 40-yard line. A loss of 6 on that carry for Michael Ford.
His problem was that he didn't wait for Cook to get out there in front of him.
So now 3rd and 14 for the Explorers. The ball back at their own 40-yard line. John Piper wide to the right side. He's caught 2 passes tonight for 86 yards and a touchdown. Jimmy Lawless wide left. They put a man in motion to the left side, and Holm keeps it himself to the right side. Kind of a quarterback counter. And Dalton Holm bumped out of bounds on the near sideline as he takes it out to the 43-yard line. A gain of 4 on that carry, but it's going to be 4th and 9 for the Explorers. They put all the motion to the left side, and then Holm kept it himself out to the right side. Now John Piper, for just the 2nd time tonight, will stand back in punt formation.
We've got to get somebody up in the line of scrimmage over there on the far side.
Michael Davis, one of the deep men for the Piasaw Birds, and Piper punts that one straight up in the air. A flag is thrown, surprise, surprise. And I think it was touched by the Piasaw Birds, I think, and the Explorers cover it at the 44. They don't indicate that the Piasaw Birds touched it. Now let's see what the flag is all about. And Marquette might have had an illegal formation. It is going to go against the against the Explorers. And the Piasaw Birds might decline it and just take the football at their own 44. That was a terrible punt by Piper. And so now, I really did think that the Piasaw Bird player touched the football before Marquette covered it, but the officials didn't see it that way. And now, illegal procedure against Marquette. That will be declined by Southwestern. And the Piasaw Birds will take the football 1st and 10 at their own 44. And they feel here that if they can put together a 56-yard touchdown drive, they can get right back in this football game. 2 receivers wide right, another wide left, the back's in the eye behind Nick Shearseth, and he turns and hands the football off, and Stephen Jones, the ball carrier, crosses midfield. Actually, it wasn't Jones. It's number 24 into the ball game, Walter Mitchell, and Mitchell crossed midfield and picked up 6. 2nd and 4, Southwestern. The line of scrimmage, the Marquette 49-yard line. They send a receiver wide to the right side. That's Jacob Giuliano. The back's in the eye behind Shearseth, who turns and hands it off. And again, it's Mitchell, and Mitchell has first down yardage inside the 45 down to the 41-yard line. An 8-yard pickup by Mitchell, and a first down for the Piasaw Birds, just their 6th of the night. Mitchell is a sophomore. 1st and 10 at the Marquette 42-yard line. Southwestern trailing 21-0, early third quarter. They send Michael Davis wide to the right side. Another receiver wide left. Shearseth turns and gives it to the upback, the fullback. And now a little extracurricular on the carry that time was Stephen Jones, I believe. And he gained 2. 2nd down and 8, Southwestern at the Marquette 40-yard line. Jacob Giuliano wide to the right side. 2 tight ends into the ball game with the backs in the eye, and the turn and the give is to Mitchell, and Mitchell is stacked up, hit by Brett Greenwell and others. A.J. Lipka in there as well, and Mitchell gained 2. 2nd down and 8, Southwestern, just inside the Marquette 40-yard line. The clock rolling with 7.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Southwestern moving the football, but precious time ticking away. Although, again, they've got to feel if they can get the ball in the end zone right here, they'll get back into this football game. Now Shearseth sets up in a shotgun, and it's going to be delay of game against Southwestern. So, the 9th penalty of the night against the Piasaw Birds. We've been doing this 26 years, and I don't know what the record for the most penalties in any one ball game that we've ever seen is, but we got to be getting close. We've had 19 penalties, and we're not even midway through the third quarter. Ten against Marquette, 9 against Southwestern, and we'd have had more, but they had one declined here a little bit ago. 3rd down and 13, Southwestern, and Shearseth from the shotgun drops to throw. Derek Sterrett after him. The pass thrown downfield and broken up, incomplete. Actually, the Marquette defender had a better chance of catching it. That was Jack Miller. Then did the receiver for Southwestern, and the receiver came in. That was Jacob Giuliano, and just played defender there and broke it up. As Miller was about to intercept it, he was hit hard by Giuliano, and the pass fell incomplete. But Shearseth, he just threw it in desperation because he saw Derek Sterrett after him, and Sterrett has been stalking him all night long. And I'll tell you what, I'd throw it away if I had Derek Sterrett bearing down on me. And now 4th and 13, Southwestern at the Marquette 44, and they'll go. 2 receivers to each side of the field. Shearseth with Sterrett after him. Shearseth takes off running up the middle, breaks 1 tackle, and takes it down to the Marquette 35-yard line for a gain of 10, but not enough for the first down, and Marquette will take over on downs.
That delay of game penalty really hurt the Birds.
So the Explorers take over on downs with 6:27 now remaining in the third quarter. Remember, coming up next, East Alton, Wood River, and Roxana from Memorial Stadium in Wood River. The Oilers 0-8, the Shells 3-5. But you throw the records out when it's the Oilers and Shells, don't you?
You have to.
1st and 10 for the Explorers from their own 36-yard line. Double wing with a receiver wide to the right side, and here's the handoff right up the middle, and a gain of a couple, and I think that was Derek Sterrett. It was, the fullback, and a couple of tough yards in there for Sterrett.
And Sterrett slow getting up.
Well, maybe you need to get him off the field for a little bit. He's a tough kid. He won't want to come off, but you can't afford to lose him either, especially if you're going to have a playoff game next week. I'll tell you what, he's a tough kid, isn't he?
Certainly is.
6'5", 215, a junior. And he's had a great season, but look out next year. He might have an even greater season. He's still hurting a little bit. A man in motion to the right side, that's Ford, and Halm rolling to his right, being pursued, and he'll be sacked all the way back at his own 29-yard line. Well, Halm really needed to unload that one when the pressure came. I know he thinks he can escape any situation. They gave him a horrible spot all the way back at the 27. So that was a loss on the sack of 10 yards. And it's 3rd and 18 for the Explorers from their own 27-yard line. The clock rolling with 4:55 remaining here in the third quarter. Marquette leading at 21-0. That was the score at halftime. Receivers left and right, a man in motion to the right side. They run the wing counter back to the right to Michael Ford, and Ford fights for yardage. He gained 3 out to the 30-yard line, and it's going to be a punting situation for the Explorers. 4th and 16 for Marquette, and John Piper, who has punted twice, and neither one has been very good. We'll try it again. Now, earlier in the year, Piper was hitting him pretty well. He took over the punting duties from Dalton Halm, I think starting with the Greenville game, and distinguished himself in that department, but
they're missing someone on the...
And now Jimmy Lawless comes out. High snap. Piper pulls it down and gets a pretty good line drive kick away. It'll hit near midfield. And Brad Emming will down it for the Explorers right at the 50-yard line. So considering the high snap that Piper had to go way up and get, and the pressure coming from Southwestern, he got a pretty decent kick away that time.
Well, what I was trying to say is on the far side, they did not have a contained man. Then all of a sudden, the freshman, Jimmy Lawless, comes sprinting on the field, lines up on the wrong side.
And they got away with it.
Yes.
1st and 10, Southwestern at midfield. Receivers left and right. Backs in the eye behind Nick Shearseth, who turns and hands it. Dunham's back in there, Tyler Dunham. And he moves the pile for a couple of yards down to the Marquette 46-yard line for a gain of nearly 4 on that carry for Tyler Dunham, who has carried 8 times for 1 yard. He was their leading ball carrier coming in. Averaging nearly 4 yards a carry with 528 yards rushing on the season, but he hasn't gotten untracked against Marquette here tonight. Backs in the eyes, 2nd and 6, Southwestern at the Marquette 46-yard line. Shearseth drops to throw. He's got plenty of time. Now he'll take off running. Right up the middle he goes. Now cuts it to the right side and dives forward near the 40-yard line. He's going to be very, very close to a first down as he picked up 6 on that carry, but it's going to be 3rd and about a foot, I think. Shearseth, 7 carries for 60 yards. And I'm trying to see, I don't believe, Derek Sterrett's in there. That time he didn't get any pressure on Shearseth, who wasn't taking any chances. He took off running when he couldn't find a receiver right away. Now Shearseth on the quarterback sneak gets a yard and gets a first down for the Piasa Birds, their 7th of the night. Southwestern moving the ball a little bit better here in the second half, but not with any consistency, and they're burning way too much clock. They trail at 21-0. The winner will go to the playoffs, and Marquette just wants to hang on here, play some stout defense. A receiver wide to the left side, the back's in the eye. Shearseth on 1st and 10, turns, hands it to Dunham. Dunham breaks a tackle, now into the secondary, has first down yardage inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 10 and a first down for the Piasa Birds, their 2nd of this possession. Well, Dunham broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage and then got it into the secondary and ran over somebody and got a first down. 1st and 10 at the Marquette 29-yard line. The deepest penetration here in the second half for Southwestern. Here's the give to Dunham. Breaks a tackle to the right side. First down yardage inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line, and now he looks like he's got it going. A 13-yard pickup right there, and a first down for Southwestern, their 9th of the night. And Marquette better not relax here, because it's not over yet. Even though they lead 21-0, now Southwestern in the red zone. They didn't call it the red zone back in your day, did they?
No.
That's a new reference, but we all know what it means. You get the football inside the 20, you're in the red zone. Now, Derek Sterrett coming off the field with his right arm dangling, limping as well. And now he takes his helmet off, and I think he might have had the wind knocked out of him too, as he's trying to get some air here over on the near sideline. He's hurting some, and they'll miss him in there at his linebacker position. 1st and 10 Southwestern at the Marquette 17-yard line. Now they go to the power I formation, and here's the give to the tailback. Was that Dunham again? And he took it down to the 15-yard line. No, that was Walter Mitchell on that carry, and Mitchell picked up 2. Derek Sterrett being attended to by the team physician. But they're not really looking at anything. He
may have gotten a stinger.
Feeling a little pain over here. He's limping, and he's holding his right arm, and I think he's going to be okay, though. 2nd and 8 at the 15, and Shearseth rolls to his left, lets it go, and completes it down at the 11-yard line. Making the reception there was Stephen Jones for a gain of 6, a gain of 5 to the 10. Jones' first reception of the night. And it's 3rd and short for Southwestern. The first completion of the second half for Shearseth. 3rd down and 2 Southwestern at the Marquette 10. Here's the turn to give to the tailback. That's Dunham. He has a first down to the 7-yard line on the final play of the third quarter. Well, I don't know if he's got a first down or not. It's going to be very, very close, and they may measure before they move the football to the other end of the field. And let's wait for the measurement before we tell you what's going to happen here. That was Dunham. He needed 2. He got 2, but it's going to be very, very close to a first down. Dunham, 11 carries for 26 yards on the night. And regardless of whether Southwestern gets the first down or not, they'll go, because it'll either be 4th and inches or 1st and goal at the 7. And it's going to be, what? They stretch it out. It's going to be 4th and inches. That is the end of the third quarter. The score, it was a scoreless third quarter. The score, Marquette 21, Southwestern nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
I'll grab the birthday cake. You bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
4th and a foot Southwestern at the Marquette 7-yard line. Quarterback sneak by Shearseth, and I'm not sure he got it. It looked like he had a little forward progress early, and then I think he got knocked back. Oh, they say it's a first down. He got it, but not by much. They don't even have to measure, though. I think on his initial surge, he got just enough and then got pushed back. So the 10th first down of the night for the Piasaw Birds. 1st and goal at the Marquette 7-yard line. They send a receiver wide to the right side. That's Jacob Giuliano. The back's in the eye behind Shearseth. On the first down play, he rolls to his left. Under pressure, now tries to take off back to the right. Hit and brought down as he dives forward. And he might have gained a yard out of all of that, and he's lucky he didn't lose about 4. 2nd down and goal, Southwestern at the Marquette 6-yard line. Just underway in the 4th quarter, Marquette leading 21-0. That was the score at halftime. The Explorers attempting to win their 4th straight game, and if they do, they'll qualify for the playoffs. Receivers left and right for the Piasaw Birds. A lone setback behind Shearseth. On 2nd and goal, he rolls to his left. He stops. He lets it go into the end zone. It's a touchdown! Touchdown, Southwestern. Making the reception was number 44, Paul Fritsch. From Shearseth, and the Piasaw Birds are on the board. A 6-yard touchdown pass from Shearseth, his 14th of the season, to number 44, Paul Fritsch. Fritsch's 2nd reception of the night. And the Piasaw Birds now will attempt the extra point. Giuliano out of the hold of number 81. That's Michael Davis, and the extra point is good. 10:50 remaining, 4th quarter. The score, Marquette 21, Southwestern 7. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Southwestern Piasaw Birds have narrowed the gap. They trail the Marquette Explorers 21-7 with 10:50 remaining in the 4th quarter, and Coach Rogers, Marquette Lesnot believe that they've got this game won because, one turnover and bang, Southwestern's within striking distance.
There's a lot of time left in this ball game.
So the Piasaw Birds, for just the second time tonight, will kick it away. Marquette doesn't put anybody deep. They've got LaShawn Whedon and John Piper up at about their own 30-yard line. The onside kick attempt, and Jack Miller for the Explorers very alertly crosses midfield and covers it before it goes the required 10 yards. And I'm not sure about that. Are you?
No.
It's awful early to be trying an onside kick. And now the Explorers will have it 1st and 10 at the Southwestern 49-yard line. Boy, when I saw those deep men for Marquette up around their own 30-yard line, I'd have kicked it over their heads.
But I don't think he's capable of kicking over their heads.
1st and 10 Explorers, double tight, two receivers and the double wing formation. Here's the give to LaShawn Whedon coming to the left side, and he's brought down after about a 5-yard gain. The ball came loose, and Southwestern came away with it, but they say it came loose after the play had ended. A gain of 5 on that carry for Whedon. LaShawn Whedon, with his best game of the season, carrying the football, 6 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown. And every time he handles the football, you think he's got the opportunity to go the distance. All it takes is a good block or two, and he can be gone. Double wing, receivers left and right. 2nd and 5, Explorers. And now it's Dalton Halm on a counter as he went back to the right side. Motion was to the left, and Halm took the snap, took a step back, and then went out to his right and gained only a yard, and it's 3rd and 4 for the Explorers. And they better figure a way to get a first down here, because if you give it right back to the Piasaw Birds, look out. 3rd and 4, Explorers at the Southwestern 43-yard line. 9:35 and counting, remaining fourth quarter. Marquette leading 21-7. Piper wide to the right side. Jimmy Lawless wide left. Whedon in the left slot. Ford a wing to the left, and now Marquette's not sure what they're doing, so they call a timeout. 9:17 remaining fourth quarter. The Explorers over the Piasaw Birds, 21-7. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Whether you're planning for home improvement projects, family vacations, college tuition, or consolidating credit card debt, use your home for what you need. At First Mid-America Credit Union, they offer home equity loans and lines of credit that can lower your costs. For more information, visit www.1stmidamerica.org or call 618-258-3168 to speak to a First Mid-America Credit Union representative.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
You're in tune to WBGZ Alton. It's 9 o'clock, week 9 of the high school football season, the final week of the regular season. Marquette leading Southwestern 21-7. The winner of this one qualifies for the playoffs. The loser calls it a season. They'll turn in equipment early next week. 9:17 remaining fourth quarter, 3rd and 4 Explorers at the 43 of the Piasaw Birds. The pitch back to Whedon, trying to turn the left corner. He does. Sidesteps a tackle and is bumped out of bounds at the 39, very close to a first down. Where'd he go? He kept going all the way through the track. But he picked up 4 on the play, and they may bring the... No, they say it's a first down. First down, LaShawn Whedon for the Explorers. The line of scrimmage, the 38 of the Piasaw Birds. LaShawn Whedon, 7 carries, 113 yards. The big one, a 62-yard touchdown run back in the early part of the second quarter to give the Explorers a 2-touchdown lead. 21-7 Marquette right now, 1st and 10 at the Southwestern 38. Double wing formation, here is the give. Now, Halm kept it himself. He faked the handoff. They've got Brett Greenwell in there playing fullback right now. And if he had handed it to Greenwell, he'd have gained about 15 yards, but instead Halm kept it himself and was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Dalton Halm, 12 carries for 64 yards. It is Brett Greenwell in there at fullback. Derek Starrett still here on the near sideline, still trying to stretch out. He's got some kind of discomfort. Now they give it to the fullback Greenwell. Up the middle he goes, and Brett Greenwell picks up 4 down to the 35-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Explorers. Third and 6, Marquette. The clock continues to roll. Now we're down to 8:05 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Explorers with a 14-point lead. Jimmy Lawless wide left. John Piper wide right. The line of scrimmage, the Southwestern 30-yard line. Double wing formation. Ford in motion to the right side. Holm drops the snap, picks it up. Now looking for some running room. Gets outside to the right side, turns it upfield. First down yardage and then some inside the 20 and out of bounds down at the 16-yard line.
I think that is in the playbook.
It can't be. It can't be. A 19-yard pickup by Dalton Holm. It's not the first time tonight he's dropped the snap, picked it up, and turned it into a big gainer. But it's not what you like to see when you're nursing a 14-point lead. And that's a killer for Southwestern when you think maybe you've got him stopped, and Dalton Holm turns it into a first down all the way down to the 16. The 12th first down of the night for the Explorers, only their second here in the second half. A receiver to the left side, double wing formation, a tight end to the right side. On the first down play, they give to the fullback, Greenwell, and Brett Greenwell working straight ahead. Picks up a few down to about the 13-yard line, a gain of 3 on that carry for Greenwell.
Greenwell is a junior, and he's no shrimp. He's 6 foot, 170 pounds.
Derek Starrett still here on the near sideline with his helmet off, but standing up near the field with his teammates, near the coaches, but he doesn't seem to be in any distress, but they may not be too anxious to put him back in there if he's not 100%. 2nd and 7 Explorers, and Holm rolls to his right, wants to throw, flips it out to Whedon. Whedon puts a move on just at the 5-yard line. Now a flag is thrown. I knew they couldn't keep him in their pocket the rest of the game, as Whedon took it down to the 4 for a gain of about 9, but let's see what the flag's all about.
What the play was, a little slide out pass to the wingback, and Holm just waited for someone to commit on him before he just put it over their heads.
Holding against the Explorers, so that'll be walked off from the spot of the foul. The flag is lying at the 8-yard line, so they'll move it 10 yards from that spot. The first penalty of the second half against the Explorers after they got 10 in the first half. 11 penalties on the night for 87 yards. And it's going to be 2nd and 11 Explorers at the 17-yard line. Pitch back to LaShawn Whedon, and he finds no running room whatsoever. Just turns it upfield and tried to find an opening as he was cut off from going wide. And he ends up losing 3 on the play, 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 14 for the Explorers. He actually lost 3 on that play. So 3rd and 14. Whedon now 8 carries for 110 yards rushing. 5:44 and counting, and the Southwestern playoff hopes dim with every tick of the clock as they trail by 14. 3rd and 13 Explorers. Holm rolls to his left under pressure. Now lets it go, and it's caught by Piper, but about 5 yards out of bounds at the goal line. And Holm running to his left, couldn't get squared to the line of scrimmage and just had to throw it under the heavy pressure. And it's a shame he didn't keep it in bounds, because that Piper is some receiver, is he not?
He's got a lot of tools. And
he's only just a sophomore. Yeah. Look out in years to come. So now it's 4th and 13 Explorers at the 19 of the Piasaw Birds. The clock now stopped with 5:27 remaining. And now Marquette wants to use another timeout. 5:27 left, 4th quarter. Marquette 21, Southwestern 7. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. Sam Stem along with John Rogers at Public School Stadium in Alton. Snide remarks being made about the officiating here in the press box, and not by the broadcasters.
Visitors to the press box?
No, it's one of the working members of the press. You see how hard he's working, don't you? He's sweating. Our friend from the Downtown English Language newspaper. 4th and 13 for the Explorers, and now they're going to try a field goal. Nick Schrank will try this field goal, a 35-yard attempt right down the middle of the field, out of the hold of Dalton Halm. They line it up, the snap, the spot, the kick, it's up, it's high, it's plenty long, and it's wide to the left. No good, so the Piasaw Birds will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. I don't think they've kicked a field goal all year.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
Well, that might have been the Vandalia game. 1st and 10, Piasaw Birds from the shotgun. Shearseth. Quick pass. Oh, it's the hook and ladder. And they complete it all the way out to the 35-yard line. And that was Walter Mitchell who ended up with the football and picked up 15 on the play for a 1st down for the Piasaw Birds. I'm not sure who the initial receiver was. He caught the football and then lateraled to Mitchell, who took it up the right sideline and was finally bumped out of bounds after the 15-yard pickup. 1st and 10, Piasaw Birds right there. Now the give is to Mitchell. Mitchell right up the middle, chewing up yardage. He has a 1st down out to the 45-yard line. Mitchell, 5 carries for 28 yards all here in the second half. The 12th 1st down of the night for the Piasaw Birds. The 1st downs are now even at 12 apiece. But the Explorers have chewed up a lot more yardage than have the Piasaw Birds. They stop the clock with 5:03 remaining 4th quarter to move the sticks. 1st and 10 Southwestern from their own 45. And I'm telling you, if they keep eating it up 10 and 15 in a chunk pretty soon, they're going to be knocking on the door and maybe back in this football game. Shearseth drops to throw. Now he hands it off to the end around, and he's going to throw, and it's going to come up short, and it was nearly picked off by Dalton Halm. Throwing the football was Michael Davis. The intended receiver was Paul Fritch, and Davis just couldn't get it there. Fritch was behind Halm, but by the time the ball arrived, Halm had a better chance of catching it than did Fritch. So they're trying everything in their playbook, and why not? A playoff berth at stake. Now the handoff here is Dunham, and Dunham, a 15-yard carry down to the Marquette 40-yard line, and another 1st down for the Piasaw Birds, and that stops the clock. 1st and 10 Southwestern at the Marquette 40 with 4:33 remaining, and it's not over yet. Marquette led 21-0 at the half. It's 21-7, and Southwestern has it 1st and 10 at the Marquette 40. A pair of receivers to each side of the field. Shearseth in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops to throw. A flag is thrown. Over the middle it goes. It's intercepted by Jimmy Lawless. Jimmy Lawless picked off the tipped ball. Now we have to check the flag. If it's against Southwestern, Marquette will have its 4th interception of the night. And every indication, well, let's see. It was this official here on the near side of the field that threw the flag. He's the one that's got 2 of them because he threw 2 on one play. Illegal procedure, Southwestern. That'll be declined, and Marquette will indeed have its 4th interception of the night. Jimmy Lawless, the freshman, hold this one down. Well, there was talk before the game, some belief that Southwestern was going to try and work against the Marquette defensive back Michael Ford, thinking he might be a weak link. I don't know where that came from. I don't know if that's what Southwestern thought or not, but it certainly hasn't materialized that way. 4 interceptions for the Explorers. 4 turnovers on the night for Southwestern to just 2 for the Explorers. Brett Greenwell up the middle for 11 yards for the Explorers and a Marquette first down. And now Marquette just wants to keep that clock rolling.
Well, let's get back to the pass defense. That until last week, Marquette did not play very good pass defense, and if they had been scouted previously to last week, I would throw on them also.
Well, the pass defense has been good here tonight, and it was good last week as well, although Roxana doesn't throw that much. A receiver, Piper wide to the right side, a tight end to the right, double wing formation. Dalton Holm turns, gives it to Brett Greenwell, and Greenwell picks up a couple, maybe 3, tough sledding there. Greenwell 4 carries for 21 yards. Derek Sterrett came off injured earlier in the fourth quarter, and I'm trying to find him on the sideline. Now he's got his jersey off, so he is done for the night, and keeps looking something on his right side. I don't know if he has a bruised rib or something pulled. Now Dalton Holm running to the right side, turns it upfield, crosses midfield, and is bumped out of bounds and then hit late. He went out of bounds at the 43, and then they'll tack 15 onto that. So a pickup of 15 on the carry for Dalton Holm. And by my count, he's very near 100 yards rushing. And then you can tack 15 on against the Piasaw Birds. 10 penalties on the night against Southwestern for 70 yards. 11 penalties against Marquette for 87 yards. But only 3 penalties in the second half. 21 in the game. The 15-yard walk-off against the Piasaw Birds, 1st and 10 Explorers at the Southwestern 28-yard line. 2:57 remaining, fourth quarter, and the Explorers are almost a certainty now to qualify for the IHSA playoffs. They just have to kill another 2:57 and protect a 14-point lead. They give it to Brett Greenwell, the fullback, and he gains 3 down to the 25, just outside the 25. We'll call it a gain of 2 on that carry.
Dalton Holm got just clobbered. I don't think he had any blocking in front of him whatsoever, and I'm surprised he made the handoff.
2nd down and 8 Explorers at the Southwestern 26-yard line, down to 2.5 minutes and counting. And when those final seconds tick off the clock, this big crowd here will erupt. And I'll tell you what, Southwestern brought quite a crowd here tonight. You had the folks from Southwestern and the people that came from Roxana last week, 2 of the bigger visiting crowds we've seen here at Public School Stadium in quite a few years. Now, guess what? Whistles and flags, delay of game, Marquette. Marquette's 12th penalty of the night. Now, normally in the post-game interview, which you'll hear tomorrow on Sports Talk at 10 o'clock on the Big Z, you know, I would address the number of penalties called against the Explorers here tonight with the head coach, but I'm not sure they're all real. Here now, they run the option to the left side, and Holm turns it upfield and picks up a few.
Well, talking about the post-game questions, I would think the coach knows pretty well how well they stunk up the place in the first half.
You're talking to his team?
Yes, not him.
You're right, not the officials.
No.
Okay. But I don't think all 22 penalties called here tonight were all real penalties. But you're right, Marquette stunk it up. Now here's the give to LaShawn Whedon, trying to turn that left corner. Finally finds a seam, turns the left corner, but is run out of bounds as he takes it inside the 20, down to near the 17-yard line. He ran a long way and picked up 8 yards, and I think he's got a first down. It is a first down.
You're talking about the officials. Maybe these guys are a team and they're working towards making sure that they get into the playoff, get an official's game in the playoffs.
What, you get that by throwing yellow flags?
Yeah.
Well, I still can't get over this one guy having 2 of them. I didn't know any officials carried 2 flags. I always thought if they had a second penalty, that's when they threw their hat. But he clearly had 2. Back in the first half, he threw one and then threw another one. And pick up on that carry, that was Brett Greenwell, the fullback again. He picks up 3, and the Piasaw Birds call a timeout, but they're just hoping against hope right here, because we have 1:15 remaining. Marquette with a 21-7 lead. With the win, Marquette will improve to 5-4. They will have won 4 straight after that 1-4 start. And you remember back earlier in the season, the game here, I think it was the Explorers' second home game. Let me go back and take a look at that. That loss to Vandalia was a devastating loss. Marquette lost its first 2 games on the road to Carlinville and Pana, and then won their home opener 14-0 against Hillsboro. And then they had a game, their second home game, their 4th game of the season against Vandalia, that they lost 13-12 in heartbreaking fashion. And that looked like that might have just killed their entire season, as they fell to 1-3 there. And then went to Greenville the next week and went to 1-4. Now they give to Brett Greenwell up the middle again, and I'll tell you what, there's nothing wrong with him as a fullback either, is there? As he pounds his way down to the 9-yard line, a 6-yard pickup by Greenwell. 7 carries, 32 yards for Greenwell, all here in the 4th quarter. But that loss to Vandalia for Marquette looked to just be a killer. As I said, they went the next week and lost to Greenville on the road, fell to 1-4, and knew they had to reel off 4 straight victories in order to make the playoffs. Well, lo and behold, they're about to do it. They lead the Southwestern Piasaw Birds here by a score of 21-7 with just 1:09 remaining, as the Piasaw Birds have taken yet another timeout. Marquette then came back home, beat Litchfield 24-22, went down to Wood River, beat the Oilers 43-0, beat Roxana 28-14 last week, and lead at 21-7 here with 1:09 remaining. 3rd and 2 Explorers at the 9. Here's the give to Greenwell, and now Southwestern's keying on him. And he lost a yard back to the 10, but it's going to be 4th down as Southwestern uses its final timeout. And I guess there's no reason not to. You know, you could scoop up a fumble here and run it back, get an onside kick, and have a chance. But that is their final timeout, and Marquette now facing 4th and 2 at the 10. But you got to take your hats off to the Explorers, because there were a lot of people that thought when we started talking about needing 4 straight wins to close out the season to make the playoffs, that wasn't within the realm of possibility, but they've done it. And Marquette will have a winning season, 5-4, qualify for the playoffs for the 5th consecutive season. That's a school record. And Southwestern will finish at 4-5 and break a 3 consecutive year playoff streak. And Southwestern, which started the season 3-1, will lose 4 of its final 5 games to miss the playoffs. Here's Holm keeping it himself, and I don't think he's going to get a first down. And Southwestern will take over on downs with 56 seconds remaining. Holm gained a yard. Unofficially, I have Holm at 16 carries for 102 yards. LaShawn Whedon 9 carries for 118 yards, the leading ground gainer here tonight. Sterrett 6 carries for 52, and Brett Greenwell 3 carries for 32. And Michael Ford carried it 3 times for 10 yards. When you add that all up, that's 220 and another 84 is over 300 yards rushing for the Explorers here tonight. And that's really the difference in the ball game. Now Shearseth in an empty backfield has trips to the left, another receiver to the right, rolls to his left. Lucky for him, Derek Sterrett's out of the ball game, but he's running for his life back near the goal line. crosses the 5, now lets it go deep down the right sideline, and it is incomplete out here at the 45-yard line. He's got quite an arm, doesn't he? He threw that on the run and threw it 40 yards.
He probably should have kept the football and ran as far as he could have and gotten out of bounds. Because he had plenty of room.
That stops the clock with 42 seconds remaining. Shearseth has completed 7 of 18 for 49 yards, but he's been intercepted 4 times. He did throw a touchdown pass, the lone touchdown of the night for Southwestern. They put 4 receivers wide left, 1 wide right, and Shearseth drops to throw, standing at the goal line. Lets it go deep down the middle, and it's incomplete. Good coverage out there by Jack Miller, the intended receiver, Michael Davis. And now it's 3rd and 10 Southwestern from their own 10-yard line with 36 seconds remaining in this football game. East Alton, Wood River, and Roxana coming up next from Memorial Stadium in Wood River. Then tomorrow at 11, it's Illinois hosting Indiana in the Illini's homecoming game. And then about 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, following Illini football, Alton and O'Fallon. You'll hear complete play-by-play of the Redbirds season finale tonight down at O'Fallon. Shearseth on 3rd and 10. Quick slip screen out to the left side, completes it. That's Dunham, and he dives out near the first down marker. And I think he's going to be about a yard shy. Actually, on the reception there, it was number 30, Ryan Gagan. And a 9-yard pickup now, 4th and 1, and they try a quarterback draw, and it won't work. And the Explorers are going to take over on downs. Well, they needed a yard for the first down, and they tried to go with a quarterback draw there, and nothing doing, as Shearseth lost a couple on that play. And so now the Explorers, with 10 seconds remaining, will come out and take a knee and have their 4th consecutive victory and qualify for the IHSA playoffs. The student body here on the near side massing down on the track because they will storm the field here as soon as the final 10 seconds tick off the clock. Dalton Holm under center. As soon as they mark the ball ready for play, he'll take a knee. He does.
That's it.
No flags. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the regular season has ended for the Marquette Explorers and the Southwestern Piasa Birds. It's ended on a high note for Marquette as they defeat Southwestern 21-7 for their 4th consecutive victory. The Explorers finish 5-4. They'll get an IHSA playoff bid tomorrow night. The Piasa Birds have lost 4 of their final 5 games after starting the season 3-1, and the Piasa Birds finish at 4-5. And their string of 3 consecutive playoff bids is ended. They call it a season. The final score, Marquette 21, Southwestern 7.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the River Bend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the River Bend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.